Mate, if this England batting lineup have the most successful run chase ever against this bowling attack, what are we doing here?
We're respecting England, aren't we?
It's the end of the Asian century. Good morning. Welcome back to this here fair production brought to you by ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry sits across from me. What a game. What a game. What a game. What a series. What a time to be alive.
He goes.
Yeah.
Ahead of the final day, we are looking at the 4 greatest words in Test cricket lexicon.
Game 6.
All 4 results possible.
Yeah.
All 4 results possible.
I'm more of a 100 guy myself, as you know.
I know you are.
But this is still okay.
Yeah.
When the ground stuff came out last on the end of the day, at the beginning of day 3, 4, what was it? What was yesterday? 3.
Who cares?
And the ground stuff came just a bang down the pitch. I was like, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
4 blokes standing around, look at 2 other guys working the pitch, bashing it down with that mallet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, horticulture. Give me some fucking horticulture, bitch.
Of course you were. I knew that.
So, India started the day with a lead of 171. They were 270 for 3 overnight. You already know that. They were all out 466.
Good innings.
And they set England 368. England, no loss for 77, or 77 for no loss.
Yeah.
291 to win. Pez, put that to me in grade terms.
Well, I want to do it in the context of it being quite flat out there. You know what everyone will be saying, especially in the England dressing room. Just got to be selfish. Someone just be selfish.
Well, that's what Darryl Milan's been brought on the side for. That's what I was saying. They don't like him because he's selfish. Well, here's his chance.
Someone's got to be selfish.
He's going to go there. He's going to take the ball home.
You know how often in grade cricket you get encouraged to be selfish?
Yeah. And then when you are...
That explains the entire social ecosystem.
Yeah, well, what do you mean?
Well, you know, it's all about throwdowns given to throwdowns received, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, they ask you to be selfish and, you know, take ownership of the game, of the score. And obviously what happens is that ends up just leaping over the actual game into the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it ends up a crumbling mess.
India's really taken on that mantra on owning cricket. They've really taken on. It's a monopoly.
That's what Dada says before the board meetings. Be selfish, you boys.
Now, we should say before we start, the 4 coaching staff, including Ravi Shastri, got COVID. We're wishing them well. Hope everything's okay. But you want to start with the first thing?
Yeah, let's go. So England make inroads. We said the first hour, the first session's important. There's all these mini battles happening within, but we thought India might be able to get away, but they couldn't in the first session. 3 wickets for 50-odd runs or some shit. Work's got Jadeja. Work's got Rahane. Is that right? And then Moeen got Kohli.
Correct.
And England bowled well enough in this session on a pretty good batting track, still getting it to swing around a little bit, and Moeen bowled his are they nudes, are they not? And that managed to just stifle India's scoring, right? And I reckon that's important. Something's going to pay off down the track. If India get in at that situation, they end up building later, and we'll get to that. But if they get in that situation, they choose their own score for England. They could bat England out of the game. As it was, England still stuck with it, slammed the ball into the wicket. They're all fucking tired now, those bowlers, but they still just managed to keep themselves in the game. I know a lot of journos are saying that England have squandered opportunities. They have too, but that's just the way this game's ebbed and flowed. I thought they bowled quite well in that first session to give themselves a shot.
Wokes is such a good cricketer. I keep saying this every day. He is just 7 wickets for the game. He's deserved more than that. He's already got 50. He's probably already man of the match. He's probably been the most important player, certainly from an England perspective, in this game so far. But it still feels... but that's... What was that Robbie Williams album? It was like a montage with Nicole Kidman. You only swing when you're winning.
That's right.
That's what it feels like with England. Just like if it's not swinging, it's pretty flat. I think India's done so well to stay in the game from the first innings. Where England should have won this game because of the first innings. It was going around corners in that first day. They've had the better of the conditions, but India's hung in and they've got themselves into a position. It looks flat, but you know, statistically speaking, the history of the game, 366 to win, 368 to win. What is it? Yeah, 368 to win. That's heaps. That's hardly ever happened in Test cricket.
No, England have never chased that much they've never chased that much in the history of English Test cricket.
I did some stats before. It's I mean, we'll get to it later, but it'll be the 12th highest run chase ever.
It's more than Headingley.
So, anyway, can we talk about Rahane's awful 7-ball duck?
It was pretty grim. It was pretty grim, given that he already survived the review.
He kicked one before, yeah.
It looked inevitable. Is he a dead man walking?
Well, he now averages below 40 for the first time in 6 years,
That
blah,
hurts.
blah,
That
blah.
hurts.
I thought it was interesting that, like, when he got LB the second time, he walked down the wicket and Coley was like, don't bother, mate. And I think
Coley's like, save some reviews for me, brother.
yeah, it's because I think that reviews are interesting in that I think if Rahane was smashing in this series and he was a big wicket, they'd send it up regardless. It's worth it to burn it. But it was like, I mean, it was obviously Plum. Don't get me wrong. But if that was Root, for instance, I reckon they're still looking at just a chance.
Yeah.
But the fact he's walked down the wicket and Virat was like,
not anymore.
he's like the
Jinx.
guy Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Weird reference.
Yeah, it's funny, there's going to be a lot of this next day. We got some announcements on that as well, but like it's so tempting to go into, what does this mean for Rahane's career? It's like, can we park that chat until after the game? Because this is I'm so present in this current game. Even the Ashwin chat or whatever. It's like here we are. We're right here. We're going to get into Pant and Tupac batting, and Tupac with a lisp. He could be man of the match if he actually starts to bowl properly, Tupac. But
thicker.
But this game is so good. England did well in that first session, but then Rishabh and Tupac started to build. And isn't Tupac so straight and so muscular? He goes, his innings was just fantastic. So much timing, drives, pulls, 250s now in the game.
Yep.
And each of them have been so valuable.
466 is their highest second inning score since 2009. I learnt this morning. They had their partnership was funny in lots of ways. I mean, they should have been. There was a desperate run-out chance that Moeen Ali missed, and then Hamid sort of fumbled it, and Best I was trying to get to the stumps. The lead was 275 at that point. Their innings was funny in that the Lord was the aggressor, and Punt was much more reserved, which is interesting. We'll talk about it in a second. But I noticed that Takur's seeing him so well that like he drove a ball from Moeen Ali on the up, like wide outside of some early, and I was like, fucking hell, that's a bold shot. I also noticed he stands he's quite upright when he drives down the ground.
Yeah, like he's leverage.
He doesn't sort of like put his body weight towards the ball, does he? But he's fucking smoking him at the moment. And then Rishabh had a reverse sweep off Anderson, which was absolutely fucking plum, given not out. But I thought Punt was interesting because he was much more reserved. He's 50 off 105, and that's the most reserved we've seen him in this series. And it's interesting that it's been on the flattest wicket. And I think that sort of highlights our point that we've been making in the past this series. Like when it's swinging around corners, he's been running down the wicket and trying to bomb it because he obviously feels like he doesn't have the technique to survive. So he's just trying to score as many runs as he can while he's out there. But he was much more circumspect in this game and hardly ran down the wicket at all, really. I mean, he bombed Moeen for a 6, but that's also how he got out. But yeah, it was an interesting partnership and it was a crucial one. But at the same time, it highlights, when you see like lower order batsmen scoring runs, and the lead goes up and up and up, you're thinking like, oh, this is out of reach now for England. But it's like, if these guys are batting that well and playing these kind of shots, that shows how flat the wicket is.
Yeah, it's almost getting better to bat on. I thought it was a really good innings from Punt. He built it off singles to begin with. He put pressure on fielders. He even created the buzzers before Kohli got out. And Kohli was going, yeah, boy. And some patience, and it's almost like he let himself get to 50. Then he's like, I'm going to bomb these blokes, and got out straight away. And then it was a really wonderful innings. You're right. I thought that the nature of their batting suggested that it's a pretty good deck to bat on. And Yadav came in and did some boy stuff.
I mean, he's absolute boys. I noticed. I was watching Kohli in that first session. I had him down for runs today. I thought he looked so good. I thought he looked so good.
Some of those shots, mate.
There was one off Anderson. That was
cover
pure
drive.
sex.
Yeah, the cover drive. I saw that cover drive. We exchanged text messages. I wanted to know.
I sent you a picture of my penis.
Yeah, that's how we describe our love.
Did you see that cover drive? Well, you tell me, mate.
Here we go. Yeah, there it is. You must really love that. There's your penis.
You must really love that.
They're coming to us for analysis.
Yeah.
Oh, they go. Yeah, no, that just threw me the penis stuff.
Get them up, boys.
Yeah.
Get them up.
I couldn't find anything in that cover drive that was not perfect. It was such a good shot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
must have felt amazing.
Yeah, I really.
And then when he got out of Moeen, he turned around.
Yeah.
And there's a photo. He's like, he's got his arms out. He's like, why is this happening to me?
He was like that.
It's like you just nicked a straight one.
Yeah, I was enjoying watching him. Boomer batted well. Also, it was a good innings from India. 466. They've hung in there. They've given themselves a chance.
Yesterday, I said they wanted 370. And they got 368, so they're short there.
Yep.
So England get these three
right.
down.
What do we say? And look, I said, it's a 350 in 4 sessions game. Near enough. Near enough, I guess. So the third thing, here goes.
Please.
It's called Oval Flat Earthers. Can England go all the way?
I like it.
So they're 77 for none.
Yeah.
They're such valuable runs. It's almost as though the target is really 291 now, and England have got a little bit of a start. They've got an oldish ball to do with, so we've had 32 overs, and that means there'll be a new ball after 48 overs. That could play in the batter's hands, I think, anyway, especially if two of them are in. So, mate, this game could not be more beautifully set up, and there are all sorts of permutations with it, like if England are to go all the way, break records, which I think in 2021 is not inconceivable, the way guys can bat now,
size of the bats these days.
And that's what I mean. The width of the bat, the sleepers that they've got. Like paradoxically, England going for the win brings India into the game as well, because given the wicket, I can't see India getting 10 wickets if they manage to take the win away from England. Like in the same, like England would need to be going for the win for India to get these wickets. They'll both need to be fucking taking those risks, which makes it such an interesting game. If England shut up shop because India have had a good session to begin with or whatever, it could peter out. I'm probably leaning that way if I was to make a prediction, which therefore means that won't happen. But all 4 results are possible, and it's just couldn't be better set up.
Mate, this pandemic's fucking with my head so bad. I've just realised that tomorrow's day 5 because I don't even know what days are anymore. Games happening every other day. Yeah. So that's interesting. So at this juncture, we should say that we will jump on. We will jump on for a live stream.
Yeah, we can't do it from ball 1. I'm unavailable because, as everybody knows, I meditate for an hour between.
You're meditating,
7,
are you?
Yeah, I'm meditating.
Takes an hour.
Yep, I'm meditating and reflecting. Well,
I sent you the wrong photo then last night.
Savasana and shit.
Okay, so we're doing it at the most obvious time at the first drinks break in the first session is when we'll start proceedings. The game could be over by then. England could have already
I'll
won.
be meditating. I'm sorry.
So that's when we'll be jumping on, get around us, and I think we could watch a fucking incredible couple of hours there.
Do you think England can do it, he goes, without a root ton?
No.
Okay.
Don't be stupid. Sam.
When you make I'm going to ask you for a few predictions. Just do it and and when you give them, just do
Wrong!
it. Just do it. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Just give them to me with full smug oversimplification.
Perfect.
All right?
Yeah.
England going to get these runs?
No.
You're so afraid.
Mate, there's fear in my eyes. Mate, if this England batting lineup have the most successful run chase ever against this bowling attack, what are we doing here?
We're respecting England, aren't we?
It's the end of the Asian century.
Well, Chris Woke said, he goes, if we put our mind to it, we can do it, which is obviously aping Doc Brown in Back to the Future. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, which in the movie included Marty having to kiss his mum. So was he putting his mind to that, and has he been watching
some stepmom stuff?
Some Naughty America. I don't think Naughty America does that.
Don't get the production house wrong. Someone's going to write in. No, it's actually Evil Angel. Evil Angel.
I'm not going to say anymore because I don't know any. I don't know what we're talking about. Mate, but yeah, the paradox is that India's best bet for prizing 10 wickets on this deck is England going for it.
Patel's potions.
It's Jeopardy Deluxe.
Yeah.
The other thing that could be in India's favour is
Deluxe.
That's another one. You haven't heard that one yet.
Spin off from the show Jeopardy. It's Jeopardy Deluxe.
It's a big day for Jadeja. It's a couple of footholes. Can he get it? Can he hit those foot marks and get it to rag? Yeah. Will the ball reverse swing? It's for me, new ball after 48 overs. If there's 2 England guys in and it's not been working for India, that's when the team normally takes the new ball and the batters cash in. It's just good. There's just jeopardy everywhere in this game.
Oh, mate, it's Jeopardy Deluxe.
As I've always been saying
this for a while now, yeah. I mean, Jadeja didn't bowl great last night. It wasn't great. And he hit the foot marks a little bit.
Mate, is he bowled well? Is he bowled well at any point in the
He's bowled at
series,
any
really?
point in this year. No, just whisper it. Just whisper it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you tipping though here?
Oh, well, mate, I think that, like, okay, there's 291 more runs to win, right? And, like, the two batters at the moment have got starts. It's actually their responsibility that they've got starts to, like, one of these guys has got to get 100 if they're a chance. Joe Root obviously has huge weight in his shoulders, mate. It wouldn't shock me if Wokes comes in and gets 40 and they actually get pretty close. Because, I mean, it's Wokes' game. This has been Wokes' game.
Yeah.
I think...
What about Tupac? Can he do anything?
Not the way he bowled in the first session, in the first innings. I mean, I don't think it's his game. I think it's crying out for Ashwin, isn't it? It's crying out for, if Ashwin's in the team. But the thing is, like, would Ashwin have scored the Lord's runs? Probably not. But
yeah, I'm not buying that argument from people. I'm just like getting in early. I know people are saying that Ashwin can score runs too, and he can 5 Test hundreds. But it's the manner of those runs, the way he did it. It's just like Tupac got the runs.
Okay, his 500s are in India. I know.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma's before this game he's hit all these runs in India as well. But
what I want to know, he goes, is if India has
they should have played 12.
If India has a good start and because they get 291 runs on the fifth day, even if it's a good deck, like that's a really good day's batting if you can hit 291 runs with 10 wickets in hand.
Yeah, great.
You know, like you have to get it right for a long period of time. Yep. If something goes wrong for an hour or they get slowed down and the run rate becomes sort of 4.5 or something like that, then England decides to shut up shop if they lose a couple of wickets, right? Say that happens.
Yep.
Can India do the men around the bat stuff, Jadeja, and get those wickets? You know, like, and Bumrah maybe nip them out or bump them out with England trying to hold on, or is the wicket too good for that? Do you think if England shut up shop, we're looking at a draw, it peters out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So India need to attack.
Yeah.
It's a good game, mate. Hamid and Burns get through the first hour, and then what is Kohli sending men back? Is Kohli starting to defend? Can you defend 291?
Mate, imagine.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't if fucking Stokes was playing.
Yeah, mate. Imagine if. Yeah. He's probably the big miss. Yeah. He's probably the big miss. A little bit of wiggle room. Mate, imagine if Bear scores 110 tomorrow. I'm fucking shirts off the next show.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not just shirts for me.
Yeah,
not just shirts for me.
Should we do the last question?
Yeah. So I just like considering the permutations. This is from Kartik D. AskTGC. It's pretty simple. Is India
brought to you by Acca?
Brought to you by Acca. Thank you. Is India going to get gabbered? Is India going to get gabbered?
Well,
it wouldn't be a gabbering.
I think part of the gabber, a big part of the gabber is how badly Australia fucked up. And Australia are the bad guys. So you have to beat the bad guys. Now, I don't think
you can't gabber someone if you're not at home.
Either of these teams aren't the bad guys. England aren't the bad guys, unless you're talking about like colonialism, like the spread of Christianity, or some off-field atrocities.
Spread of Christianity. Yeah. Fair enough. It's an argument for it.
Crusades, that kind of gear.
Yeah.
Those are the bad guys. The cricket team's not the bad guys. Like Joe Root's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
India, they're the bad guys. Well, if you're talking about like, monopolising cricket, IPL money, that kind of gear, then yeah, sure. But they're not, the team's not the bad guys.
Well, both of them are probably bad guys in terms of the way they actually funnel the money. And
well, if you're like Papua New Guinea, then they're the bad guys.
What about West Indies?
What about them? So no, you can't be gabbered unless you have to beat the bad guys. Australia are the bad guys.
Yeah, the narrative isn't there for it to be
it's not.
a gabber. It's just a triumph if England's able to do it.
Yeah, but they won the toss and they should have won at that point. So
we've got zero clue, which is why it's such a great game.
Yeah. Who's going to win the 100 next year? I'm going to go for the Oval Invincibles again.
Oh, I'm going to go for the Trent Rockets.
All right, jump on for the live stream after the first hour of session 1, and let's watch history together. See you tomorrow.
It'll be a draw.